and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I thought I'd show you finally my round versus square. So these have been done for a while. I've just not got round to filming it, so apologies for that. I'm in the middle of decorating and things are crazy, but anyway, so these are the diamond paintings that I got round versus square. I got them both from Huacan on the same order, exactly the same image on Huacan. I got one in round and one in square. So this is the square one and this is the round one. I've cut off the borders so that we can sort of look at them side by side a bit better, but I do still have the colour list. So this is for the round. Let's try and keep things the right way. They both had 30 colours, but they were both very different, and I think they've even sort of turned out different. I'm not even sure if they've used the same image, so there's more on the top of this round one than there is on the square. There seems to be more of a border on the square one, ever so slightly. And actually the round one ends up being 2 rows of round diamonds taller. Let's have a look about the other way. And the other way, maybe 1 section of round. Even the background colour was completely different between the two. So this one I think was 819. The round one, this one was a mixture of 3866 and 3865, I think. So this was a mixture of 2 colours. This tended to be just the one, and it's really weird because round you have less detail because the round diamonds are slightly bigger than the square, so you'd think you'd have less detail on the same size, but I can see the legs of the bee a lot clearer on the round than I can on the square. People did mention when I unboxed it about seeing an extra flower, but even having a look now, I'm not sure if the actual flowers have become a little bit more apparent. I don't think there's an extra one. So there's pink ones here, and then 2, and then 2 at the top. And then for blue, there's 4. That could potentially look like 2 flowers on this one. Looks a very blurry one on this one in my opinion. Down here, again, that cluster of 3 doesn't look as prominent as it does on the round, and then we've got a separate one here, and then we've got blue ones over here. So very weird. For exactly the same picture, exactly the same company, I would have thought that there would be more that's similar. The bee looks bigger on this one. It's as though they've zoomed in on this one to make things a little bit clearer, but in this image, I actually think the round has got more definition. I don't know if they use different software between the round and the square, but I actually prefer the way the rounds turned out. I think potentially there's too much detail in a small space on the square. Maybe that's something to do with the stitch count, I'm not sure. We've got this sort of separate blob up here, whereas we do get a couple up here. We get more of an image, we get extra. I don't know whether that's something that they've added in or taken out. It's actually, when I look at the key, so that extra part of the image is on the key for the round one. It is there, whereas on the square one it's not. So it is like they've used 2 separate images for these as well, which also is very weird because considering I picked exactly the same listing, exactly the same image on AliExpress and asked for one in round, one in square, exactly the same size. So anyway, I thought I'd let you see what the differences are. I do think that how good an image turns out has a lot to do with the software that the manufacturer uses. Obviously, according to this, I would safely say that Huacan use different software for each one. The colours that it's picked out and everything is different. Whether they use different software or whether it's just the way the software interprets the image from square to round, I'm not sure. I didn't tend to have any like major issue with pop-in drills or anything on the square one as well with Huacan this time. This was ordered a few months ago, but they do seem to have sorted out that. However, their quality, while it's okay, I still prefer Home Fun over Home Fun and Huacan. But yeah, I thought I'd let you see what they look like when they're finally finished. They're both a nice image, and I prefer the background on the square than I do on the round, but from a distance I do think there's a little bit more clarity in the round. But anyway, you judge. They were both very nice to do, and say they both had 30 colours, so it's not a matter of one having more colours than the other. They both had 30 colours. So anyway, there we go. There's my round versus square. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.